But it would take money, time, a lot of time commitment. If I was like 19, I could probably do that. 19 and had the passion for what we're doing and the money to do what we're doing. That just doesn't happen. Seconds before it blows. There's two different trails that converge here, so hopefully. See? I'm a tree hugger. That's way too high. I think we'll just stick the coyote call on this snag over here, and then we'll go sit up in the trees above it and do a little call sesh and see if something comes in. Be nice to have one just come over the hill and be able to track it all the way in. That would be fun. Oh, that head's so smooth, dude. For being that little. Holy smokes. Oh, the whole thing's spinning. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's it right there.
I'm gonna leave it like that, so that's even smoother.
You loosen that up to raise the middle beam.
Yeah. All right. You're gonna be shooter, so if you miss, it's on you.
I guess I better.
Yeah.
You have one in the chamber?
Yeah, everything's ready to go.
Does the stock extend at all?
No. I mean, it does, but I pinned it, so.
Okay. All right, we're good. Something smells good.
It's the cilantro stuff. This stuff right here.
Yeah, that's what it smells like, cilantro.
Huh.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
I think it's edible.
It smells like the real deal. And I love cilantro. I heard that cilantro, like liking or not liking cilantro, is a genetic thing.
Really?
Yeah. What's that?
I'm doing the woodpecker, because there's a jillion woodpeckers out here. So I'm doing...
There you go.
Hear the turkeys?
Wind is good.
Yeah, perfect actually.
to the truck. And we look down in this little basin right here, and there's a pig feeding. And I got this big oak tree, so I'm gonna stay behind this oak. And I arranged it. If I can get right to this oak, I've got a 40, 45 yard shot. So we're gonna get in tight. Just kidding. That's a money shot right there. On a foam pig.
So, sorry for the trickery, but no pig. We just got this foam target that we drug out because we want to do a little practice while we're out here today. There weren't any coyotes. We set some trail cameras. So, since we're here and we have an archery target and we have bow and arrow, we're gonna give you guys a few tips on how to improve for archery season this year. So let's get right into it. All right, wow, Clayton 10 ringed this one. First tip is practice. Reps, guys, you gotta get the reps in. You get excited about season, you got all your stuff planned out, you got your hunt planned, you got everything organized, but you don't spend time at the range shooting your bow. And that's the thing that's gonna hurt you the most when it comes to crunch time. You're gonna put all this time and effort into getting into the red zone on the animal. You get in there, you make the shot and you miss, or worse, you make a bad shot. So you gotta put time in pre-season. You need to be shooting your bow every week, at least a couple times leading up to season. I'm not saying you have to shoot every single day or whatever. That would be great if you have the time, but you need to make time for a couple days a week, at least for the first month, or for the month leading up to season, and really hone in on your craft and get that bow shooting straight.
All right, so when you're practicing in preparation for season, it's really important to shoot from uncomfortable situations like this, on your knees. Like we did earlier where we were behind the tree, we drew back, we stepped into the shot. 99 times out of 100, when you're in the field, you're not gonna get that just super perfect shot like you would get on your home range, where you can take your time, your feet are set. Oftentimes you're standing on the hillside, uneven footing, you're surrounded by bushes, you got to duck out of the way of limbs, or you have to draw back behind cover and then step into the shot. You want to practice all of those scenarios. It's really important. If you can replicate what you're going to do in the field, you're going to raise your chances of success exponentially.
So tip number 3, that's corny. Tip number 3 is establish your effective range. So a lot of us will go out into the field, and I've done this, I was guilty of this like the first several years I archery hunted, and you practice 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever you got pins for, and then you're just like, okay, well that's where the arrow goes. When I adjust it to 50 or my 50-yard pin, that's where it goes. But can you actually make an ethical shot under stress at 50 yards? So a good way to determine this, and this is gonna be based on your equipment choice. I have a stick bow in my hand, and obviously I'm not gonna be shooting anything at 50 yards myself because my effective range is about 25, maybe 30. Depends on if I've been practicing a lot. But with a compound bow, I've killed stuff out to 90 yards, 90 plus. So it just depends on your equipment, it depends on your skill level, and a quick way to test that is put yourself under physical stress, run up and down a hill a couple times till you're like out of breath, you're tired. Because when your heart starts racing, when that big buck steps out, that's how you're gonna feel. Get into that state and then shoot at 20, shoot at 30, shoot at 40, and figure out where your groups drop off, because there's gonna be a definite point where it's like, okay, 30 I'm good, 40 I'm okay, 50 is not not in the cards for me. And you'll save yourself a lot of anguish in the field and potentially maiming an animal. So tip number 4 is ethical shot placement. You want to get them in the ear. I hope we all knew that was a joke. Shot placement is fairly universal with most game animals. Right there, right behind their shoulder. And there's a lot of information out there on all that. I'm not gonna go deep into it, but make sure you know on whatever animal you're shooting at, where that shot placement is. And another thing to think about when you're shooting archery, and this applies to rifle also, is the anatomy of that animal is going to change when it's laying down versus standing up versus downhill versus uphill. So you need to know, quartering to and from, what the inside anatomy of that animal looks like and where to ethically place your shot. We had a situation this last year where Clayton, the only shot he was afforded was a pretty long advanced archery shot of a deer quartering to laying down. And a lot of people couldn't take that shot. He took it because he has the ability to do that, but he wouldn't have been able to place that arrow properly if he didn't know the anatomy, how that deer was laying down and where, and he stuck the thing, it died in 15 yards. So it's an important thing to remember, learn the anatomy of the animal you're after and where that kill shot is.
Another important thing when you're practicing is establishing muscle memory, and that comes from establishing a routine first, a shot sequence routine, and then sticking to it. And every time you pull back your bow, you do that routine over and over and over again. That way when you're in the field and you draw your bow on an animal, your adrenaline's up, your heart's beating fast, you're not thinking about anything because you have that established muscle memory in the bank. It's the same thing like basketball. You don't wait till you get on the court in a game to practice your shot. You practice before the game, get that muscle memory, and so it's reactive. So when you draw your bow back, you're gonna go through the same sequence. And usually for me, it's I'm gonna draw my bow, I'm gonna put my first knuckle behind my jawbone, I'm gonna get my bubble level, and then I'm gonna bring my pin up to the target, breathe, and release. And it goes a lot faster in my head, but that's my shot sequence that I go through every single time, and it creates the muscle memory for the shot. We hope you enjoyed the video. We wish we would have called in a coyote, but next time we're gonna keep after the predators this year. Put these tips to good use. We hope you're successful in the field this year.
Don't forget to check out our Instagram. Our Instagram doesn't get very much love, so get over there, subscribe or like or follow or whatever you do on Instagram.
At grizzly.brothers.
Got it. Follow YouTube. If you guys aren't subscribed, come on, man. We're putting out good stuff.
Like, subscribe, share. We're gonna be giving away more stuff this year too, more than we ever have. So
we got a mega bear hunt giveaway coming up. It's gonna be insane.
blow your mind.
Someone's getting a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
Memory that's gonna last a lifetime. So
yeah.
Get in there, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.